if I'm going to talk about autism from a mom's point of view, who better to talk to than my mom? 30 years in business, on a commission-based business.
5 children.
5 children, single mom of 5, who has raised a child with autism for 37 years.
My mental space was full a long time ago, so it is deleting what is...
This is Njambiz. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join Team Njambiz. Yeah, this is how you say yeah. You are not given the script. Today is a very special day because I have Mom here with me. We are going to do an interview on autism. In case you're wondering where this has come from, that means if you're wondering you don't follow me on TikTok, go look for me on TikTok. So that's where the story has started. We were talking about autism in children and autism from a mommy group, mommy community point of view. And of course, if I'm going to talk about autism from a mom's point of view, who better to talk to than my mom, who has raised a child with autism for 37 years. Makofi kwanza.
Thank you.
Audience, makofi bwana. So yeah, we will just dive in. We will just dive in. I will ask you questions. We'll share. It will be storytelling. I have my mom here, but before we begin, I want to introduce her to you. This is my mom, for those who don't know. Her name, it feels so odd calling you by your name.
Rose.
Her name is Rose. She is a mom of 5. Number 5. Last born here. Mom of 5, single mom of 5. She does insurance. She's done insurance for 20 years.
I was 30.
It's almost 30.
I was 30.
Wow.
I was 30 years.
Yeah, by then we've been raised on insurance. Yes. Tell us a bit about that. Like
the insurance.
The insurance, when you started, how long you've done it, what you do, and then we move forward.
I started in 1995, I think August of 1995. And I've done insurance since then. There have been breaks here and there, but it's almost 30 years. Almost. I think it's 30 years.
It's 30?
Yeah.
It is 30.
Yeah,
it's 2025. Yeah,
it's 30
some
years.
of you are not born. Gen Z. Msirushe mawe. So yeah, she's done insurance. She's an insurance agent. She's done insurance for 30 years. No small feat. But we have a lot to celebrate you for. And one of those things is why we are here today.
Thank you.
There's motherhood, raising 5 children as a single mom is already in and of itself.
A challenge by itself.
In and of itself is work. It's to be celebrated. But now you throw in a child with autism, then the challenge grows magnanimously.
And on top of that, it's a commission business.
Yes.
It's a commission
business.
It's a commission business. You have to work to get any money.
Yay. True.
So that compounds the problem. But here we are, 30 years later.
We'll give you your flowers. So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've really done the undoable. It's been a journey, quite a journey. I think we need a different video series just to tell the whole story.
That's all right.
But today we'll dive in. 30 years in business, on a commission-based business.
5 children.
5 children, single mom of 5. and now a child with autism. So
Let's twin.
This journey is layered. I forgot to mention, of the 5 children, the child with autism is a twin. And they're the third bonds. We have the first-born son, second-born son, then the twins, the autism twin, which is my sister, her daughter, her first daughter, and their twin brother, and myself then now. So let's start there. Let's dive into her journey. Their birth. Now they are twins, because now we'll have to say there. We have to include...
Yes, they are twins.
They are twins. Let's start there. The pregnancy itself must have been a journey and a half.
Well, that's a topic by itself.
By itself. The pregnancy with the twins, how was that?
Generally normal. Until, I don't know, it was 7th month. 7th month, and when I went for the clinic, they said, yeah, we need a scan. We have 2 heartbeats.
Oh, this time you didn't know they were twins?
No, I didn't know.
You thought it was a singleton pregnancy?
So okay. About 6 or I think 7 months.
But you hadn't felt any difference with the previous, because you had 2 other children? You didn't feel any difference with the pregnancy?
No, it didn't feel different.
Okay.
It didn't feel different.
Okay.
So I go for the scan, and they say these are twins. I think it was 7th month.
Okay.
Around there, yeah. They say these are twins, and now I was preparing for 1 baby.
Now you have to change gears.
I have to now start preparing for 2 babies. And they came 2 weeks earlier.
Okay.
They came 2 weeks earlier. The pregnancy, the bump was so big. I couldn't lie on my side.
I can imagine.
I couldn't lie on the side, because you lie on this side, it feels like
one baby is on the
falls
other.
on the other. And the same if you turn. So, and I couldn't lie on my back, so I would...
it's not good for your spine.
So what I used to do was put a mattress on the floor and put cushions, and I would sleep like this with cushions on my back. That's next to the wall. That's how I used to sleep.
For the majority of the pregnancy towards the end?
Towards the end. Towards like the 8th month. Yeah, so it was tough. And then one night, 2 weeks earlier, it was in March.
Yes.
And it was raining very heavy, very heavy. These are the wrong rains. And there were a lot of thunderstorms.
Yeah, by the right before April.
And so this particular night, my water broke in the middle of the night, about 2 a.m. And I am an hour away from the hospital.
This is in 1988. Yes.
When was I born?
1988. That one I know, 1988.
Yeah.
Just to give some context.
Yeah, so the rains were very heavy. And we were in the school compound. And so we looked for a vehicle. Okay, I'm left in the house. And the vehicle had, the previous day, had gone shopping for the kitchen.
School supplies.
It was full of bags of beans, maize, sugar.
For context, Dad was a teacher, so you lived in the teacher's quarters, just to give that a bit of context.
Yeah.
Yes.
So finally the vehicle comes, and I'm taken to the hospital. And it was raining cats and dogs. We almost got stuck somewhere on the road.
And the roads were barely roads back then. It was
that was between Bura and Mwatate. We almost got stuck somewhere on the road.
That was in Voi, Sindo?
So
Voi
we are
back
going
then.
to Voi General Hospital. I don't know. I think the name changed, but at the time, it was Voi General Hospital, I think. So we go there, and I get there, and before even I'm admitted, one baby is out.
Because now you're on your 3rd pregnancy, so labor is fast.
And then they are twins. So I get to the labor, and the first child is Mercy now.
Yes.
And then 5 minutes later,
the twin
other
brother.
twin. And then now I can't stay in the hospital for long. I left the next morning at 7 because I have 2 other babies in the house.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. And transport was an issue at the time. And transport was an issue. So we go and...
At this time, the other 2 babies are 2 and 4.
No, one is 1.5.
Oh, not... Oh, yeah, yes. Because he was born later in the year. Yes, 1.5. And 2.5-year-old. 3.5-year-old. 1.5 and 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. 3.5 and 1.5, and now I have twins.
And now... Oh, my God.
And I don't even have help in the house.
Oh my goodness.
So that was...
That was the start of that journey. Before you even knew what was coming next. It was already quite an experience. Then you go home, anything out of the ordinary in the first few months of life?
No, not really. Not really. I didn't see. The only thing I noticed is that the babies were not sleeping at the same time. So one sleeps, the other one wakes up. When this other one sleeps, the other one wakes up. So
Might be. That one is a twin thing.
I couldn't sleep.
I can't even imagine.
I couldn't sleep.
And the toddlers still need your attention during the day.
And I need to
on
cook
top of
for
the babies and the family.
So it was a tough start, but we managed. I managed. And it was tough. It was tough.
But nothing out of the ordinary.
Nothing out of the ordinary. They looked normal. They were feeding normal. So there was no sign. There was no sign
in the beginning.
In the beginning, there was no sign. Yeah.
When was the first time you noticed maybe there might be something here?
Just around a year. The second twin, his milestones were very fast. What happened in their milestones? One is very, very slow. And the other one is very, very fast.
Very fast.
Now, compared to the other two children.
Other two,
yeah.
Oh, his is even faster than the other two and has a slower than the other two now.
Yeah, so really, there was no telling.
It still was.
Whether it is a problem or it's not. But she was slightly slower than most.
So around 1 year, you started thinking, maybe...
No, I didn't even think there was a problem because you see the milestone, like a child learning to speak, it depends on the child.
Yeah.
And since I've already seen one is slower than the other, I was taking the other two as the average. So one is slower than the other two, and one is faster.
Yeah.
So to me that
it just seems like it's the range. They're within the range, everyone at their own pace.
At about 1 year, Masa couldn't even say one word. She couldn't speak at all. But at the time, we thought it's delayed speech.
Babbling, this Gugu Gaga's baby talk?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing. Nothing. In fact, those ones started at 2 years.
Oh.
2 years.
Completely just crying and that's it?
There was nothing.
I didn't know that.
Before 2 years. In fact, I went to a doctor and he said, no, this is okay. The child will catch up.
It's speech delay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was really nothing to Any sign, nothing to indicate that there is a problem.
Okay. I've seen on the signs of autism, like maybe repetitiveness, routine, not keeping eye contact, and so on. The outside talking, the other milestones, walking, interacting with the twin and the other children. How was that? Because I know with autism, at least interaction and communication and then behavior is slightly different. Before 2 years, other than speech, was there any other indicator?
No, not really. No, not really.
Not really.
Not really. Only that, like, if you want to, her milestones were very slow, very slow. So, like, 1 year, 1 year, the child is walking, I think. A bit. With
support.
Some support. Her she couldn't. Her she couldn't.
Okay.
And even much later, she needed a lot of help.
To walk now? Or no, just other general milestones?
Generally.
Okay.
Generally. Yeah.
Okay, so
but nothing was pointing to that.
Okay.
There was nothing pointing to that.
So at 2 years, her milestones are generally slow, which you assume is within its range. It's every child's...
No, at 2 years, I thought, I need somebody who could understand what this could be.
That's when you talked to the doctor and he said it could be speech delay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after that, what was the next indicator that maybe she's special?
The next thing, that was at 4 years.
At 4 years,
At 4 years. This time she can speak a bit, and she can walk around, she can eat by herself. But at 4 years, she got convulsions.
Oh, okay.
And the first time I was not at home, and she got it again, and I thought, this one, we need to seek medical help. I went to a dispensary, and they said this is brain damage. I cried my heart out.
My goodness.
So I was referred to Kenyatta for speech therapy.
Okay. And
what else? There was speech therapy, and there were two. There were two therapies I was sent to go check.
Behavioral or social? You can't remember quite.
I don't remember the second one right away. But I remember the speech therapy. When I went there was no doctor. Every time the clinics were done on Tuesdays, and every Tuesday we went, there was no doctor.
There was no doctor.
And
yeah, because
every time it was like the doctor stepped out, they are coming back, and you wait until you go home.
Yeah, because I can't imagine back then, we are talking about the early 90s, speech therapists were easy to find. They must have been very hard to find, because that's a specialized field, which even now, they're not that many. So I can't imagine in the early 90s, they were quite available.
I think I don't know what was going on, but the hospital would say they have a doctor, just that he's not in.
Oh, okay.
There are other people queuing, so every week you meet there, there's no doctor.
You go home. You
go
try
home
again the next week.
And we never saw a doctor eventually. We went for many weeks, and it was like, it's obvious now, we'll never be able to see a doctor. The other one was called occupational therapy.
Ah, yes, occupational therapy. And I was going to ask that one next.
Occupational therapy. We never got any doctor, so we never got help.
So this was the referral to Kenyatta was after the convulsions.
Yeah.
When they said it was brain damage, did they expound into
what
if it happened during the convulsion, or it's something that's been there, or what
no doctor has ever pointed out exactly what it is, because everybody is trying to figure out
what that is.
And let me tell you, from there, it was you explain to every doctor, every nurse, because they'll be trying to get information.
Backstory, to understand the history, the medical.
And it wears you out so much. I think I told that story more, I don't know how many times, 1,000 times.
I can imagine.
Until at some point, when she was already a grown-up, at some point I said, I am not talking about this again.
Yeah, because you have to keep explaining. Yeah, every time you see a doctor, every time
have to explain. You have to explain. And you explain to the nurse, you explain to the doctor, until it wore me out so much. And I said, if I haven't gotten help for 30 years, I mean, I don't expect any other help. And
that will change at this point.
Yeah, because nobody seems, and understandably, because they explain there are no known causes.
Yeah, I saw
everybody's
that,
trying to figure out. Nobody has the answer.
Up to this date, actually, part of the video I did on TikTok says that there's still no known causes for autism. They just speculate that it could be this, but it's not.
And so you are trying to eliminate the causes and try and see what can we work with to help. But it's very tough. It's very tough.
So now after that, the children are joining school. What was that journey like for you with her? Because now she has a twin who's about to join school, or is joining around 4 or 5 years, yes? The twin is joining school. What was the process with her?
No, the challenge was she cannot express herself properly.
Yeah.
She needs help around. Do you take her to a normal school? And the place we were, there was no special school. But they said they can put her in a normal class and observe and see. And it was tough. It was very tough. So you take them to school in the morning. It was quite a distance. And then when they leave, I think they were coming back with the others.
Yeah.
Or something. I think they were coming back with the others. And at one point, she got lost in the school. And
this is the year she started school now.
She got lost. I think she walked into the forest, or there were some woods around, some trees around. Oh, no. So she walked, and they
couldn't trace her. They couldn't find her.
They looked for her until they found her. So then I was told she had gotten lost, and I was like,
they were supposed to keep a close eye on her.
I don't think she needs to go to school at this point.
At this point, she's about 5, eh? 5 years?
Around 5. Was it 5? Around 5 there. Yeah. So from there, and then you see now she's getting conversions.
Oh, this was now happening regularly? Or once in a while?
Once in a while, which you can't tell
when it will happen.
At what point. And then I think at some point we moved from the place we were, and now we go to some other place.
You have to tell that story again. You have to figure that part out.
And then I think she'd walk out of the class and they don't know where she is. It was tough. Yeah. But at least in the second school, everybody, I think people knew her around. So it is like, I think I think the teacher took an initiative that even the other kids are told, if you see her leaving or going anywhere, or even the whole school, if you see her going out of the school compound or she's alone somewhere, report to the teacher. So that's how she was contained. But I remember a case where I think she left and went to the shopping center. It wasn't far from school, and it's in the village though. I think somebody knew her and took her back to the school or something. It was tough.
Wow.
We had moved.
So every
times.
time you move, you have to explain to the schools, to the neighbors.
Now, for her situation, this is the second school. The other place she wasn't going to school.
She was still at home. She was still below school going age. Okay. But at least I imagine you have to explain to the neighbors, to the schools, every time you move, when you get a new school, that this is her condition, this is, she needs specialized care, and so on.
But this other school at Shosho's, it is her who took her to school.
Okay.
All of you. So, and at some point, there were issues, not with the school. So they were told, nobody should take these children from the school except their grandmother. Even their mother, nobody. Their father, their mother, nobody should take these children from the school.
There's a backstory there.
There's a backstory. So anything would be reported to Shosho.
Yeah. I'll fast forward a bit, then we'll come back. When was the first time you heard the term autism?
When did I hear?
To refer to now the condition.
I think that was much later. Because even this time we are referred to the speech therapist and the occupational therapist. I think that is the time they were supposed to find out what exactly it is. I think at this point, even when she goes to school, because from the village, then we come to Nairobi, and she goes to school and she can't manage in a normal school. All this time, I don't think anything like autism had come up.
You were just explaining this is her condition. You didn't have an official diagnosis to say she has this. Until now, much later.
Much later.
Teens, can you ballpark at what point? Teenagehood?
No, I think what happened, I was taking a medical cover, and I explained her situation, and they said, no, this one, we need a medical report. Okay. No, we can't take her. At first, they said, we can't take her, but probably what you can do, get a medical report. And then from the report, we see if she can be covered. Okay. Now, just a background, around that time, that was 96, 97 there, insurance was not taking anybody with a medical condition. There are a lot of things that were not covered. Pre-existing conditions, if you have a pre-existing condition, most of the times you would not be taken. Okay. If you have things like maternity, they were not covered. A lot of the insurance was basically taking a healthy person. If you have issues, they're not covered. And the only thing it was being considered, I think, was because I was selling medical insurance.
Oh yes, you're an agent, so they can't now deny you the cover.
So I think that was a consideration. And so I'm sent to a doctor within the company and a pediatrician. And this is the doctor who did for me a report. Can give a shout out?
Yeah, give a shout out.
Dr. Kaburu.
Yes, Dr. Kaburu.
Dr. Kaburu is so good. He's so good.
He's a pediatrician.
Yeah, he's a pediatrician, and he's seen her through and through until she's an adult. But
he became the main doctor now after.
Yeah.
So he was the first to diagnose her.
I think Dr. Kaburu is the one who said what it was. If I remember correctly, I may be wrong. But if I remember correctly, Dr. Kaburu is the one who said, here, I don't even see why she shouldn't be covered. And she was covered.
Shout out to Dr. Kaburu. This is now at around what age? 67, about 9 years. She should have been about 9, because at the time I was 7.
That was
I must say 97.
97, around 97.
So she was about 9
I don't
years.
have the exact dates, but it's around 97. So he did a report for her, and he recommended that she be taken. And she hasn't been going to hospital, but he put her on medication for the conversions.
Yes.
And so he was managing her. She didn't get conversions
After the medication.
For a long time.
Yeah. Except when they were trying to tweak her medicine.
And I'm the one who had requested.
I know this because one of those convulsions, I'm the one who caught them. The one in...
Yeah, you're the one who called me at night and
when
said...
it was about 11, because obviously we are sisters, we are sharing a room, so I had her convulsing at night, and I alerted my mom. I think I was about 11, so she would have been 13.
Yeah, they're about...
They were trying to tweak... Or you were trying to see if you could get her off medication.
Yeah.
So,
and she was off medication. She was weaned, and then at the time the medications were stopped. 2 weeks later, she got convulsions. So she was put back on medication, and Dr. Kaburu said he understands her condition very well, and he put her on the minimum dosage. And she's not had a conversion since.
And she's been on medication up to now. She's still on medication, lifetime. When did the medication start? Around the same time you saw Dr. Kaburu? Or before?
I think so. I don't remember exactly. But I remember Dr. Kaburu prescribing.
He's the one who prescribed the first medication, at least the consistent one, to stop the conversions. Because I imagine before, when she'd go to hospital, they'd probably give her some short-term medication.
And again, just to mention, when I went, the first time I went to the dispensary, that was the second time she had conversions. And she didn't have them, at least to the best of my knowledge, she didn't have them for a long time. She didn't have them for a long time.
Okay.
And then there was some point she got conversions, and I think at the time we were on a different medical scheme, insurance. So we went to see another neurologist. Was it a neurologist? I think a neurologist.
Okay.
And we were given some medication. Yeah.
That was now after Dr. Kaburu.
I think
then
when we saw Dr. Kaburu, I think she didn't have a problem. Then later on, she started getting conversions. We went to see a doctor who was on the panel, and we got some medications. And he said, stick to this one. And then we come back to the other insurance. So we come back to Dr. Kaburu.
Oh, Dr. Kaburu was not now on the schedule with the other insurance company.
No, he was an in-house doctor.
Oh, yes.
He was an in-house doctor.
Yes, okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, so then you came back, then he got her back on that medication, and everything was flowing well.
Anytime she had an issue, we would go to Dr. Kaburu.
Yeah, that one at least I can remember. Even up to into adulthood.
Yeah.
How many, you said you saw a neurologist. How many times did you have to see a specialist? And which specialists? Outside the now pediatrician and the normal doctor? Other than the neurologist, did you have to see any other?
There was a time she had conversions, and she was admitted at Nairobi Hospital for observations. I did all the tests, and then I think we were there for 3 days. She was discharged. That's the only time she's been admitted because of the conversions.
Okay.
I think that's the only time. I don't remember any other time we've had any admissions.
Okay.
She's been managed on outpatient.
Okay. You remember when I said I'll take you back? Yeah, it's time to go back.
Okay.
So, maybe explain to the moms the not Mercy's condition, but her day-to-day. Her day-to-day, what she can and can't do, some of the challenges, some of the the assistance she needs, the extent of her autism impacting her day-to-day.
It's been okay. At first, when they say she was mild, but outside now that the conversions and all that, she needs a lot of help. She can't be left alone. There has to be somebody with her throughout.
Yes.
And though she can feed herself, toilet training took a bit of time.
Okay.
Took a while.
How ballpark?
Let me tell you, I've raised 5 babies.
More than, let's say, range, more than 4 years.
My mental space was full a long time ago, so it is deleting what is...
I can understand, yeah.
I don't remember, jokes aside, I don't remember exactly how long.
But it took some time,
yeah,
a good amount of time.
Yeah, it took some time.
Okay.
Okay. Then she has to be bathed. She has to be dressed. Everything she has to be told what to do. Teaching her is, I think, the challenge of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And what else can I say?
She can communicate, but
yeah, eventually
she could communicate.
Eventually, yes.
But not in the beginning.
Yeah, eventually she did communicate.
Yeah.
Even today.
Yes.
It is not what you expect.
Yeah,
needs, it is not what you expect. You can have a conversation. It's not a grown-up conversation.
Yeah.
So
there's still limitations in the communication.
There are limitations. Yeah. And even at this age, it's not where you can say, I'm leaving you in the house and sit here alone. She won't.
She still needs...
She needs care throughout.
Full-time care.
Yeah, full-time care.
At 37. Yeah. And this is after you've made so much progress in terms of her being able to do 1, 2, 3 things here and there.
A few things. Make her bed.
Eat by herself. But you have to prepare the food. You have to warm the food. You have to have it ready to eat for her.
Yeah. And there is a lot of talking.
There's a lot of persuasion, by the way, that a lot of convincing and call it marketing.
For anything you want her to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of convincing and talking and trying to get her to do something. I think...
and you have to keep an eye on her throughout.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's into routines. She cannot sleep during the day. I am now adding what...
Yeah, she can't. She can't.
What you've forgotten. I'm trying to add... I see what you've left out so that I can add it in. She's into routines. Sleeping is at night, and in the bed she can't sleep during the day unless she's overwhelmed by exhaustion.
She'll not go to sleep.
She'll not go to sleep.
And she can't even lie down.
She'll doze off sitting, by the way, during the day, because she has to follow that routine. And she has to be taken care of. Actually, in everything. It's just eating.
Yeah.
It's just eating. But...
as in, she's not the person you tell, go take your food from the kitchen. No, she won't. That you go warm your food, no.
We can take a short recess. Then we come back to the special education class. She joined. Now I'm giving based on my own memory, from my own memory. We can talk about schooling now, joining the special education class. We can talk about your challenges. Oh yes, that's what I was forgetting. Moving around with her is a challenge because she's generally afraid of people as one of her challenges. Being in strangers, in the company of strangers generally, or even family. Sometimes if there's a lot of you and she's overwhelmed, she's not very cooperative in doing things and interacting. Socializing is definitely one of the main challenges.
And the I think the biggest is when you're out in public, because anybody can notice there's something here unusual. So everybody stares, and that scares her because why are they not looking at the other people?
And when she gets scared, sometimes she will not move from where she is if she's overwhelmed. Or maintaining just general eye contact or looking directly at people is a problem. So she will try to hide while she's moving around.
Or not move at all.
Or not move at all. Like I said, sometimes she will get stuck where she is because of that. Yeah, and I think that part as well. Now we get into special education, the challenge of now we're having to work while raising her and 4 other children and into adulthood. Because as she grows, this challenge, it's not the same as taking care of a small child.
In fact, I think as time goes, it gets harder and harder.
It gets tougher, yes.
It gets harder. So from Geshagi now, from Shoshos, we come to Nairobi. So I take all of you to the same school, and I explained to them, and they said, let's see if she can manage or she can't, and she couldn't. And so she's back to the house.
They didn't have a special education class?
No.
Oh, she was going to, when we were going to Unity, she was going to a normal class. Why did I think they had a special education class there?
Whatever the case.
Well, either way, I was young. I wouldn't have known.
Whatever the case, she couldn't manage. Because now you see, she will get out of the gate. There's nobody to look after her. Even in class, she doesn't want to go in. She will stand at the door the whole time. So at some point they said, no, this one we can handle.
Become staff.
Okay.
I think that is a good place to take a break. We'll have to do this in 2, maybe even 3 parts. So we'll stop part 1 there. But the story is not over yet. We'll be putting up part 2 next. If you liked it so far, you know what do they do?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up, like, comment below if you have any questions, comments, or any other experience. If you want to share your own experience in the comments. And of course, subscribe if you haven't. Why haven't you subscribed? Join Team Njambiz. It's free to subscribe.